So, you're looking for a dog trainer in Jackson, right? It can feel like a huge task, but don't worry. We're going to break it all down and make it super simple.
Just picture for a second, you're taking this really calm, enjoyable walk through the Bellhaven neighborhood, or maybe you're spending the afternoon out at LaFleur's Bluff State Park and your dog is just with you, relaxed, listening. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? A great local trainer is exactly how you get there.
Okay, so before you even start Googling, the very first step, and honestly the most important one, is to figure out what you actually need help with. Let's get really clear on your goals. What's the number one thing you're hoping to change? Is it the constant pulling on the leash every single time you step outside? Or, hey, maybe you've got a new puppy and you just need to cover all the basics. It could also be something a little trickier, like barking like crazy or real anxiety when you have to leave. Nailing down your main focus is going to help you find a trainer who's an expert in that specific area.
All right, next up, where should this training actually happen? You've got a couple main options. Group classes? They're awesome for getting your dog to focus when there are other dogs and people around. But if the real problem is, say, going nuts when the doorbell rings or pulling on the leash right in your own neighborhood, then in-home training is probably your best bet. It tackles the problem right where it happens.
Okay, so now you know what you need. Let's talk about how to find a great trainer. There are a few things that really separate the true professionals from everyone else.
You're going to hear this term a lot, positive reinforcement. And really, it is so much more than just handing out treats. It's about building this incredible, trusting relationship with your dog. You're rewarding the good stuff, the behaviors you want to see. And what happens? You get a dog that wants to listen and make good choices, not one who's just afraid of messing up. It's way more effective in the long run, and it's just a kinder way to train.
Now here's the thing. In Mississippi, trainers don't actually have to be certified. So looking for these kinds of credentials is a really good way to vet someone. It just shows they're serious about their education. When you see something like CPDT-KA, that means they've passed a big test on training knowledge. KPA-CTP, that's from the Karen Pryor Academy, which is really well respected for its positive methods. And if you're dealing with bigger issues like fear or aggression, a CBCCKA is a specialist in behavior. It's just a good sign they know their stuff.
All right, you've got your short list of potential trainers. Now it's time to basically interview them. Think of it like a little consultation. Here are the absolute must-ask questions to help you make the right choice.
This one is probably the most important question you can ask. You're listening for words like positive, reward-based, and force-free. If you hear anything about using fear, pain, or intimidation, that's a red flag. The whole point is to build up your dog's confidence, not to scare them into behaving.
Dog training is a science, and it's always changing for the better. So you want someone who's keeping up. Asking about their certifications and how they continue their education isn't being nosy. It shows you're looking for someone dedicated to their craft, using the best and most modern methods out there. Cookie-cutter plans just don't work for dogs. A really good trainer will ask about your life. Do you want to take your dog to the Fondren district and have them just chill by your side? Do you live in an apartment with tons of other dogs around? A great plan should be tailored specifically to your dog and the challenges and joys of your life right here in Jackson.
Okay, let's switch gears and get into some of the real nuts and bolts for Jackson. We're talking costs, local rules you gotta know, and even some great spots around town to practice everything you're learning.
So, what should you expect to pay? Here's a general idea of the average costs for dog training in the Jackson area for 2025. As you can see, group classes are usually the most affordable way to start. Private lessons and in-home packages cost a bit more, and then you have things like board and trains, which are a much bigger financial commitment. This should give you a good ballpark for your budget.
Here is a super simple but really important local rule you have to know. In any public area in Jackson or Hinds County, your leash can't be longer than 6 feet. That's it, simple as that. So for walks in the park or just around the neighborhood, you'll want to stick with a standard 6-foot leash.
And just a couple other quick things to keep on your radar. By state law, your dog has to have a current rabies vaccination. Also, it's good to know that in Jackson, if a dog barks and barks and barks, it can actually be considered a public nuisance. That's where good training can make you a fantastic neighbor. And of course, whenever you go to a park, just be sure to read and follow the signs.
Okay, so you're learning all this new stuff. Where do you go to practice? Well, Palm Bridges Park has these nice big open areas that are great for practicing recalls. LaFleur's Bluff is perfect for working on focus when there are distractions like squirrels or other hikers, and for that perfect loose leash walk, the paved path at Maze Lake Trail is just ideal.
Getting training for your dog isn't just about fixing problems.
It's about building confidence, for your dog and for you too. It just opens up so many more possibilities. A well-behaved dog is a dog you can take with you on all your Jackson adventures. Think about it, a chill afternoon at a cafe, a walk through a busy local market. It just makes your life together better, and it makes life better for everyone you run into along the way.